Build Lego Sonic Adventure 2. A brick-built Sonic whose legs are motorized to make a figure 8. I would really like to see a new Death Egg, Sonic 2. I mean, wow. Am I just that one Lego Sonic YouTuber now? Oh man. Welcome back to the channel, guys. What is up, everyone? How's it going? Today, I'm building Your Crazy Ideas with Lego Part 3. This is also going to be the finale for this little mini-series. We're not going to be doing this ever again, or as far as I know, I don't have any current plans at the moment. But yeah, you guys have submitted a ton of really good ideas, and we are going to build them. First, I want to address, yeah, my green screen has gone on break. Yeah, don't worry, it's not gone forever, it's just gone for the moment. And it is only gone so that I can work on fixing a few lighting issues that you guys have brought to my attention. But without further ado, let's dive right into some of these honestly insane builds. So, what do we have first? A working Lego Minecraft piston. Pfft, I got this, no problem at all. I started by taking an 8x8 plate and building up some bricks around it, randomly colorizing it with dark bluish gray and light bluish gray. It's a very simple construction that allows for a Technic beam to be pushed up, and then I created a little arm completely tiling it, the tile part, that is very important, and then built a little platform up top, which I also tiled. That part with the tiles not entirely necessary. After that, I just put it in, no stud connection required, and now the little switch we made on the outside will actually work to fire the piston, which is really, really cool. I like this build a lot, and I'm pleased with how it came together. Right, what's next? Man, it's been a while since I've done that. Built an alligator infested with a pie zombie virus disease thing. Thank you for 2 to 3 weeks of trying to wrap my brain around that concept. So eventually I came to the conclusion of, maybe it should be half an alligator and half a zombie pie with like cherry filling coming out meant to be blood. I started with the body, which was very, very easy, just some snot bricks and some mixel joints. For the pie segment, I just happened to have a lot of these 1x3 tan slopes on hand because I meant to use them for the Gaia Temple, then completely forgot they existed. And I decorated the outer shell with that detailing. For the actual face, on the pie side, we have a pie for the eye. That was kind of funny when I said it out loud. The alligator uses dark blue and is a lot smoother. It's meant to look like, well, a normal alligator, of course. And then the tail is all pie. And there we have it. There is our zombie alligator pie complete. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I spent like 2 to 3 weeks thinking about what that would look like. Please, I beg of you, make Angry Birds. You made me do it, and now repay the favor. That's right, I did do that. I did make him do Angry Birds. Thanks for the suggestion, Brick Customs, that technically I had. Yeah, technically I had that idea, but then he applied to that idea. Have we created a paradox? For Angry Birds, I decided to do something very, very different. I want to actually take a crack at designing a Lego art piece. You know, like those 3D art sets that have been coming out. We've got one for Spider-Man, we got one for that other thing, and then there's another thing. I think there's another thing. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. I grabbed a 32x16 base plate and started building up a blue backdrop. After I had completed that, I used some black parts, specifically plates and tiles, to create a border around it and hold it in place. After that, it was just a simple design of making these rock features, which are actually tan, and then used tiles to detail the rest. I made some clouds, the slingshot, the towers with these pigs, and that's it for tiles. Next, I used these rocket fin pieces to create the little dots that you see appear after you fling a bird. And speaking of birds, we need to build red. This is achieved with a 2x2 round plate and then some curved detailing tiles. For the eye, I used a crab meat's eye from one of the recent LEGO Sonic sets. It was a leftover piece. And now we've completed it. But wait, there's more. Using some tape, or preferably some push pins, you can actually hang this up on your wall. Possibly one of the coolest concepts I've ever built. Okay, now who's next? I hope you make my Star Fox idea. On it. Star Fox is a gaming franchise that I know little to nothing about. What I do know, though, is that it has some really cool spaceships, and I love building spaceships. So we're gonna build an R-Wing. The first step for me was building the front nose shape. This was fairly easy. I was kind of taking inspiration from Darth Maul's Sith Infiltrator. I used these wedge plates at an angle, and then detailed the sides. Now, unfortunately, this is not to minifigure scale, it's just slightly smaller. I used this cockpit, which was the best one I could find, built up the wings, added this long thing in the back, the rockets, and then these blue things. What are these things? Anybody know what these things are? Let me know in the comments. And there we have it, an R-Wing from Star Fox. This feels overly simplified, yet it works somehow. I very much like the way it came out. Right, moving on. Next idea, you should make a Sonic versus Shadow mock. Okay, fine. The amount of Sonic content that was requested could not be resisted. Let's do this. Now, Sonic and Shadow have fought together on multiple occasions. The challenge was just picking out one of them to build. My personal favorite for Sonic v Shadow duels is the first one in Sonic Prime. Thank you for making it halfway through the video. I just wanted to let you know, if you are ever interested, I have a ton of extra content spread all over the internet. By the way, I know I said that this was going to be the last video I do where I build your LEGO ideas. I mean, yeah, it is. But hey, over on my Discord channel, I have a little server section where you can submit video ideas to me, and I do actually read them and consider them. So if you ever want a build to be featured in one of my videos, and of course tell me if you want proper credit for it, I will be reading that channel for your LEGO ideas. If you just enjoy seeing my current builds, then follow me on Instagram, Instagram Threads, LEGO Life, and I think that's all my other socials, besides YouTube, of course. But anyway, thank you for making it halfway through the video. The bright green colors behind it would give it a nice contrast with the blue and orange energy given off by Shadow, and Sonic, of course. How did I almost forget to say Sonic? I wanted to go pretty simple for this one, so it is a 16 by 8 plate with some striped patterns on it, and created this start to a checkerboard pattern. Over at the back, I actually added another checkerboard pattern, using some brackets to push out the tiles by just a teensy-weensy bit. I then detailed up the top layer, added this palm tree, which I use in almost every palm tree scenario, in case you guys hadn't noticed, and then added a bunch of flickies all around. Next was the minifigure display. Now, I have a speed trail for Sonic already, except it was way too big for this model. So I thought to myself, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna steal Brickstoic, because he did something very similar. I always thought that one was a little bit too short in my opinion, but it works perfectly here. Putting it behind Sonic, it creates a near perfect speed trail effect. Shadow is different though. I don't want to do speed. I want to do teleportation. Right next to the palm tree, I used these transparent blue parts and staggered them in this pattern. I then did the same at the other side of the mock, and put Shadow flying out of that blue energy, holding a Chaos Emerald.
Chaos Control!
Yes, Shadow, that's exactly what it is. And there we have it. There is our Sonic v Shadow mock complete. I absolutely love this. It's such a nice display piece, and I'll be keeping it around for future displays. Now we come to the penultimate mock. It is, well, Portal 1. Portal 1 is a game that I have no experience playing. I pretty much only played like Portal 2 once or twice. But I do know the basics. Shoot portal, fall through portal, somehow defeat enemy. This build uses a 16 by 16 base, wrapped with a black border. After working on the foundation, I tiled off the whole thing. Here's where a little LEGO secret of mine comes in. I actually despise building with white. Yeah. Now, it's not that I dislike the color. That's exactly what it is, actually. Yeah, it is. Because most of my white parts have been sun exposed too long, meaning they yellow. That's why I don't like building with my white collection. I'm completely fine when I build with somebody else's white collection, though. So you'll notice that in this mock, a lot of the white parts are discolored. Now, a couple years ago, a friend of mine showed me this really cool door technique, so I wanted to implement that here for the door. That was not the tricky part. The tricky part was actually getting these arch pieces, I believe they're called, to stay in place, and it does use an illegal building trick in one place. But the final result looks very good there. Continuing the wall pattern, I built up this little platform which you need a portal to get to, and there is a button here. The idea here is that you place this little block on that button to open the door. Next, we need our character. I combined the legs with an old Zane torso, gave her tan arms, a head, and some hair. Next, I put a portal gun in her hand and actually decided to make a truthful cake. There's a cake here. Cake is no longer a lie. Another great build in my opinion, but we have to move on. We have one more mock to do. The final build, which was actually suggested by one of my good friends. You like hockey, right? Build a hockey arena with all the sports in it. You can't be serious now, are you? For this, I just had to go with a 32 by 32 base plate. It was like the only logical thing to do. I started by building up a blue foundation outlining exactly where the hockey rink would go. Next, I put some gray plates all along the outside just to define the walkway. After that, I added some detailing on the inside using these red plates, and then I created some goalposts, which are actually from football. American football, specifically. After that, I had to assemble some minifigures, because most of the action will happen on the characters. So the idea here is you use baseball bats to hit the soccer ball into the goalpost while ice skating. I may have forgotten basketball, but we're just gonna move on. Because in hockey, fistfights are legal, I decided to include a fistfight over in the corner, while the other two are actually playing the game the way it's intended. Now moving to the outside, I added this person going around the place with a hot dog cart and a few people sitting on the benches. Here's another thing, I forgot a door, so the excuse, they skydive into the place. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. You heard me right. Skydiving into a hockey arena that plays soccer with baseball bats, and football as well is included in there. Hope you're happy, man. Right, well, that's gonna be all for this episode. Thank you all so much for joining. I'll see you next time. Next time I think I'm doing some kind of Sonic build. That or another build that I can't really reveal publicly at the moment. Right, see you all next time.